Hey everybody, it's Pete Toll, aka PT Sports 84. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas and a good start to their new year already. 2K dropped a official roster update this morning. There had not previously been an update since before Christmas. I believe the 23rd was the last update. And when they did the last update on the 23rd, um, there was, uh, I would say, there was a little bit of um, precaution on 2K's part because they took out a lot of injuries for players because they anticipate a lot of players coming back over that break. For those that don't know, 2K offices are primarily closed, or at least they have been in the past during the holiday break. They usually take that 2 week span. A lot of the lead developers and stuff like that just to spend time with their families and stuff like that. So that's why there's not an update. Shiz G33, what's up, man? Yes, there likely is going to be a patch next week. If you look at the counter right there on the left hand side, it says 10 days left. That leads into the Friday going to the new season for my team. And so usually the week of that is when 2K drops a new patch. Now, previously the last patch dropped on randomly on a Monday. I had never seen that before with 2K, so it could be anywhere from Monday to Wednesday, somewhere in that range. I'd expect a patch. We'll get some player likenesses, maybe some gameplay fixes, stuff like that. Um, what's up, Phelan? Hope you had a good holiday, man. But yeah, so the patch likely will get some player renders updated, stuff like that. Who I don't know. I'm sure we'll get some more retro stuff as it's been really the primary focus so far on it. So, but let's jump into the roster update here. Oh, one thing I do want to note: Luol Deng was added to my team recently over the holiday break as well. Now everybody's gonna hit up 2K and say, "Let's get Luol Deng in immediately." That's not how it's worked for 2K for the past couple years. They usually wait till they get two or three, four or five players that they can add in. What's up, Hugo? They do that so that way they can get a bigger retro roster update. So maybe we'll see it with the patch and the ratings update next week. I don't think. No, I don't know for sure, but I don't think that we'll have a ratings update this Thursday. I could be totally off base and we can get one on Thursday, but in the past, 2K has taken, when they release a roster update pre Christmas break, they usually don't come back with a roster update until um, 2 weeks into 2 weeks into January. I'm sorry. So that would be basically going into next week. I'd expect one somewhere around maybe the 12th. I think we'll get one on the 12th. Personally, that's my opinion. We could get one on the 5th, but I think it'll be the 12th. And then that patch could drop anywhere from the 9th through the 11th for the player likenesses and stuff like that. It would make sense to me to have the patch drop next week and then the player likenesses, any retro stuff, things like that, and then everything be kind of updated as far as the 12th goes. What's up, Tico? Real quick, everybody, if you don't know, Tico has been dropping a lot of content with his attention to detail roster. If you're an accessories guy or gal and really like that kind of stuff, he's the go-to for that kind of content, especially because he really gets those authentic. I know he's got some more teams going in there and stuff like that. What's up, Hunter? Yeah, Johnny, what's going on? Um, hope everybody that just is now tuning in had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. I definitely did. So my son was happy with his with his gifts. His big gift was the Xbox Series S. He's 6 years old, so that was a big time gift. My wife and I talked about, hey, is it time to kind of upgrade him from the Switch and get him into that because he's really into video games and stuff like that. We're still keeping it kid friendly with the video games. A little bit of Minecraft and some other stuff mixed in there for him. So nothing on the extreme end yet with him. Try to get him into playing some 2K and stuff like that. He was not really into it yet. He's just now kind of getting heavy into sports, learning teams, stuff like that. But definitely a good Christmas for sure. But let's dive into this roster update with everything. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, Johnny, with the era stuff and the courts. That's some feedback that I did submit previously. I had a couple people individually hit me up, and they let me know that a couple courts were off for the NBA era stuff, and then they gave me the recommendations on what should be fixed. So I passed it along. Whether it gets fixed, I'm not sure. I don't have any control over it. All I can do is pass it along. They did do a good job on the last update. Whenever on the 15th, they added a lot of the retro. If you watch my last video that I posted from the 15th, it had a lot of retro stuff in it. So if you watch that, they did do a good job of getting stuff in. Carrie, not that I know of, no retro stuff that I know of. I think today was a quick update to get everything back on the same page with the current roster, since there's been a 2-week delay with the updates because they were out of the office. So that's basically what they focused on today. But diving into the updates, we got Lewis King added on a 2-way contract. Saban Lee was waived. Saban Lee is now back on the Raptors 905. That's who held his rights previously. So that's in there. We also got another player added, Jared Rhoden, who was previously on the College Park Skyhawks. He is now in the game. Braxton Key was waived. Braxton Key's rights are actually held by the Delaware Bluecoats. So that's where Braxton Key is now a member of. We also have AJ Lawson added here on a 2-way contract. Tyler Dorsey was waived. My speculation is that Tyler Dorsey will go back overseas and get a big-time offer there. That would make the most sense to me. And then the Raptors actually waived Justin Champagnie, who was due to have his contract guaranteed. So he was waived before that guarantee date. For those that don't know, January 5th is when players can be signed to 10-day contracts. So we'll probably see a lot of movement as far as 10-day contracts, guys signed here and there way before guarantee dates. And then later in the month, I believe it's the 19th, players are under contract for 2-way contracts. That's when those actually hit guarantee dates. So we'll see a lot of guys maybe change off of 2-way contracts, get guys in different spots as we have in the past. So the rest of the update is pretty much injury designations. We'll go through those now. Previously, Tyrese Maxey was injured. They now uninjured him as he came back. I believe it was over the weekend, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was Friday. Can't remember exactly the date on that. But as you can see here, a lot of injuries were taken off. Only long-term injuries, like Lonzo Ball. Who knows if he even plays this season? He's injured. Ricky Rubio's out still. Guys that are on longer term, like 2-week or more injuries, seem to be getting added here. As you see, no injuries for really any of these teams. Desmond Bane was also taken off the injured list. He's been a big part of what the Grizzlies have been doing since returning from injury. Clint Capella, we don't know how long he's going to be out. He's got that strained right calf. It's been a lingering issue, so we'll see what happens. Aneko Kongwu has been filling in nicely for them. So one thing, Dwayne Dedman was previously listed as being injured out for not being on the road trip, but now the report as of last night is that he's going to play. So that's why he's not injured there for anybody that's looking up long-term injuries. Um, Dennis Smith Jr. came back last night from injury as well. So good to see him healthy. Colin Sexton just recently went down, strained right hamstring. He's out at least a week, if not two. He'll be reevaluated in a week, so they added his injury in there. No injuries for the Kings. Now we have what's interesting is the Knicks. We've got Obi Toppin has a right tibia fracture, and he is not injured. So they missed one when they did the injury designations. He's definitely out for a couple weeks. No rating changes, Paolo. That won't come until an official roster update with rating changes. Likely, if it's not this Thursday, it will definitely be by next Thursday. My speculation is it will be next Thursday. Anthony Davis is out, so they got him with the foot injury. So glad to see that because a lot of people online were still able to play with a fully healthy Lakers squad. Over to the Orlando Magic. They didn't do the greatest job of getting injuries in the first place for them. Chumo Keke is out 4 to 6 weeks. They missed this injury, so who knows if they'll get it added. But good news on that front. Jonathan Isaac and Jalen Suggs both have been practicing in full with the Magic, so we'll hopefully see them soon come back healthy and get on the floor. It'd be great to see Jonathan Isaac because it's been so long. Next up, we got the Dallas Mavericks. Dorian Finney-Smith is out a few weeks. Dorian Finney-Smith's got that sore right hip. Maxi Kleber, I don't know that he'll even play the rest of the season with the torn hamstring. He's out at least 6 to 8 weeks. And then Josh Green has had that elbow injury lingering for a while, so they injury designated him. Next up, no injuries for the Brooklyn Nets as Joe Harris came back last game. Jeff Green's got the broken left hand, so he's out for quite a bit. So you see his injury added there. And then going over to the Indiana Pacers, they missed Kendall Brown. He's got the strained tibia. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, so they have to add that injury at some point. In the 4-week time frame is when he'll be reevaluated. So we'll see what happens. And then going over to the New Orleans Pelicans, they did add the injury to Brandon Ingram. Now we'll have to wait and see what happens with Zion as he went down with the hamstring injury last night in the 76ers game. So I'd be curious to see if he's out for an extended time. If he is, this team's in trouble. Going over to the Detroit Pistons, they also did not add an injury for Isaiah Livers. He has already missed 14 straight games. He's out with the right shoulder injury. So that's, like I said, another one that they missed. Going over to the Toronto Raptors, they still have the injuries on Porter Jr. and Achua. Then another one they missed, Jayshawn Tate has been out. He's missed 31 straight games. There's no timetable for his return. They took off his injury on the 15th, but I don't know why, because he's not eligible to come back right now. They have no clue when he's coming back. So we'll see what happens there. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker. Everybody saw that, nasty injury with the strained groin, 4 to 6 weeks. We'll see what happens. Then we've got the broken leg for Alexei Pokashevsky. Jeremiah Robinson Earl has the lingering injury of the sprained right ankle. He's still a ways away, likely 3 to 4 weeks altogether with the injury, which means he's probably out at least 2 more weeks. So we'll see. And then Usman Jang is out with the fractured right wrist, 6 to 8 weeks. Going over to the Timberwolves, Torian Prince is out with the sore left shoulder. He's already been out for 2 weeks. He's out another 2 weeks. And then they missed Jordan McLaughlin, strained right calf. He's already been out for 2 weeks. We'll see if he comes back. Likely a week or two still to go per Chris Finch's report. Going over to the Portland Trailblazers, Justice Winslow, sore left ankle. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. That was a nasty one. I'd expect him to probably be out at least 3 to 4. Then we go over to the Golden State Warriors. They still don't have Steph Curry injured or Andrew Wiggins injured. Again, we know how 2K is with anything Warriors related. It's not a secret that they take their time when it comes to significant ratings changes to the star players, things like that. So I don't expect the injuries to be any different. And then that's pretty much it for the roster update. Like I said, nothing major at all. I'll be curious to see if a shoe update ends up dropping anytime soon. A good way you know a shoe update is coming, you can kind of check certain players. I like to kind of go in order of teams and see what shoes they're wearing. Like Jordan Nwora would be in Adidas, Marjan Beauchamp in Adidas as well. Like you can go down the list and see like the brand changes, and then you'll know if there's been a shoe update or not. But that's pretty much it for the official roster update. Like I said, pretty light, but we did get one to get Rhoden in and a couple other transactions. So that wraps up that part of it. But now I wanted to kind of do something a little different. I had mentioned to everyone that I work on some rosters just on the side, just for some side content. I have a Kobe era roster that uses the default roster from opening night. I updated some of the faces using some caps on some other rosters that I thought were really good. Anybody that doesn't know Dirty_8_ Speech, his cap faces are really, really good. MJ Wizards does a great job as well with his caps. Everybody needs to check out MJ Wizards rosters for his content as far as accurate ratings and tendencies, stuff like that. What I'll likely do is take his roster, kind of do a default opening night roster off of MJ Wizards once his is done, and then add in some caps that I think look really good. If some of his I don't particularly want to use, once I get permission, of course. But I did use Dirty_8_ Species cap faces. If you're watching, I hope you don't mind that I use these. Message me if you do mind. I'll of course take them down. But I try to get the rosters accurate as I could. Here we got Brian Skinner added in, Greg Buckner, John Salmons, and then Art Long, and then Kerry. I probably won't do it just because it's his system. I try not to. I'm not gonna. My wife was like, "Well, you're just gonna get on that system and play it too," and I don't really want to get into that. I'll just stick to the PS5 for that. But maybe down the line if things change, but probably not for this year. Like I said, Art Long there, Ephthemios Franzius there. Samuel Dallenberg was out for the season, but I added him in. Sam Clancy was drafted by the team, broke his leg, and he was not on the team. But I added Sam Clancy in because he was technically on the roster under contract, and that's kind of how you have to do it to get the roster limit of 14, because 2K did not take the time to change the era roster limit, which doesn't, which I wish they would do. But Sam Clancy is here. But although he had never officially played in the NBA, you can take him and use him as you want to. Then we've got Marcus Hayslip added to the roster, Jason Caffey with an updated face, Joel Prisbilla, Dan Gadzuric, and that's it for them. Going over to the Bulls, added Lonnie Baxter, Dalibor Bogaric, as well as Rick Brunson. So those guys are now in the game. I haven't touched ratings and stuff like that for anybody for the most part. Maybe I touched up stuff here and there, but it's still a work in progress. I just want to get the faces correct and get everything updated vitals wise, and then post the roster from there. Dewan Wagner here. Milt Palacio, updated face. Michael Stewart added in. We got Tierra Brown added here. Yes, he didn't sign until March, but I added him so that way it would reach the roster limit of 14, so I didn't have to worry about getting a message that prompts whenever you go to save the roster. Bruno Sundoff on the Suns. Ruben Wolkowski. I added Mikey Moore, even though Mikey Moore did play for the Hawks late in the season. I kept him here for the beginning of the year for the Celtics to fill a roster spot. Same with Grant Long, who didn't play till later in the season. I needed to get 14 players. Excuse me. Kedrew Brown added here. Got J.R. Bremer with an updated face. Eric Williams as well as Tony Battie added in there. Going over to the Clippers, we've got Eric Piatkowski added. Got Marko Jaric added there. Chris Wilcox. And then Sean Rooks updated as well. He's added in. Going over to the Memphis Grizzlies, we've got Lorenzen Wright. We've got Earl Watson, Gordon Girichik. Can everybody hear me now? Did my mic cut out for some reason? Let me know if you can hear me. For some reason, my mic kicked out. I don't know why. What happened there? Somebody, if you don't mind, in the comments, let me know if you can hear me. Fix it. Hopefully that should fix it. Let's go back to the Grizzlies in case I'm not sure if I missed anything. Because somebody said they couldn't hear me, so I don't know if something happened. I don't know. Sometimes there's random disconnects I noticed whenever you stream through the PS5, so I don't know how to fix that. But we got Lorenzen right here, Earl Watson, Gordon Girichik, Chris Owens, who was added in the last retro update, Michael Dickerson. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that particular moment. That person said it went out, so I don't know. Robert Archibald, Shazari Chabransky, and then Mike Batiste. DeMar Johnson was injured that season. He had broken his neck, but I got him here because he did end up playing for the Knicks the following year. We've got Chris Crawford added, Dan Dickow, Emmanuel Davis, Ira Newble, and then Alan Henderson, of course, as well. Going over to the Heat, got Rasul Butler. Johnny, this is my roster, the 2002 Kobe. You can go to the 2K share on the PS5, type in my gamer tag, PT Sports 84. Make sure you're going under the Kobe roster era, though. So click on Create Roster, go to the Kobe era, and then you can type in my gamer tag. It'll pull up. You'll see it there. And then that's how you can get it. This is Rasul Butler. Got Anthony Carter, Malik Allen, Ken Johnson, Sean Lampley, Sean Marks there. Let's see. Somebody asked about DeJuan Wagner. Here's DeJuan Wagner. Got his tattoos and all that stuff. So, would love to have DeJuan Wagner done as an artist render, but he's very hard to get a hold of. So, there's Kirk Haston, Bryce Drew. I updated Courtney Alexander as the stock render was terrible. Robert Tractor Trailer. Got him with the correct body size as well because he was a bigger guy. Going over to the Jazz, Matt Harpering. We got Tony Massenberg. I updated Jerron Collins. 2K must not know that Jason and Jerron were twins. They could have just taken Jason's face and thrown him on Jerron and been done. John Amici updated. Added in 2 guys that were out for the season, Raul Lopez and Curtis Borchert. Borchert had a hand injury, and then Lopez was recovering from a ACL tear. So they were both on the roster, but as you can see, I injured both of them. Going over to the Sacramento Kings, Brent Price added here. Added in Jim Jackson, who wasn't signed till a little bit later than opening night because I needed an extra roster spot. Keon Clark and Mateen Cleaves added as well. Of course, Chris Webber added back to the game. He's previously out because his rights were removed. Not sure what is happening there, but maybe Chris Webber will come back into the game at some point. We got Othello Harrington. Then Frank Williams added in there. I added in Mark Pope because he was signed to the team for the season, but he was injured. He was rehabbing, so got LeVar Postel. Got injured Antonio McDyess. Those that don't know, he was out for that season. Going over to the Lakers, Samala Samaki, Stanislav Medvedenko. And then I also updated, where is he? Samaki Walker. So he's added in. Andrew DeClerc added with a better face. We've got Oyedeji with a better face. Ryan Humphreys added into the game. I added Gerald Sasser. If those that remember Gerald Sasser, he had braids the season before, but this season he had cut them off. Still was not very good in the NBA, but got Evan Eschmeyer, updated his face. Got Tariq Abdul-Wahad. I actually missed him. I need to update his skin tone there. Going over to the Nets, got Lucius Harris, Anthony Johnson, Chris Childs, Brandon Armstrong, Tamar Slay, Jamie Fike. Got all those in there. Tail Dog, what's up, man? It cut off your message. I couldn't see. Where can we find? Oh, you're on Xbox. Ooh. Man, that's tough. I don't know if ooh, that's tough. Yeah, I don't know if Dirty Eight Speech is somebody that's on Operation Sports that maybe could post the formulas for him. I could always do a side video at some point coming up where I go through the presets of certain players. If you send me some that you would want to see, maybe I can do that. Probably not this week, but maybe sometime either the weekend or next week. Send me a couple, and I'd be glad to show off the formulas, stuff like that. Predrag Savovich there, updated Mark Blunt, Kenny Satterfield with an updated render, Nicholas Skidishvili, Vincent Yarborough, Chris Whitney, This team, the Nuggets, are like really sparse as far as with players. Is really bad, so I had to add a lot of players. Junior Harrington, who was a starting point guard, Ryan Bowen, Donnell Harvey, Rodney White, um, Chris Anderson with the correct look for that era, Nene. Those that don't remember, he was Nene Hilario for the first 2 years, and then he went to just Nene. Going over to the Pacers, Artest, of course, was added in the retro update, so he's there. Brad Miller, Reggie Miller, Jamal Tinsley, Ron Mercer. We've got Primoz Brezhitz, Jamison Brewer. Going over to the Pistons, Don Reed, Zelshko Rebracha, Mehmet Okur. Got the correct look for him because he had a little bit of scruff, but he did not have the beard like I've seen a lot of people put on him. He didn't have that until the following year. Chucky Atkins. Chucky Atkins was added in, but I fixed his face to touch up the render to get it a little bit better looking. Tayshaun Prince there. Going over to the Toronto Raptors. Hakeem Olajuwon retired the second day of the season, but I kept him here to fill in the roster. We got Vashawn Leonard. Touched up Jelani McCoy just a tad with a different beard. Chris Jeffries, Nate Huffman fixed his render as well. Eric Montrose is there. He was out for the season along with Lamont Murray, so that's why they're injured right there. Those that don't remember, Pete McKeel was on the roster for most of the season, but he could never recover from an ankle injury, so that's why he's here right there. Added Terrence Morris, Tito Maddox, Jason Collier. Boston Akbar was added last update, just fixed his render. Joaquin Hawkins, Eddie Griffin, Moochie Norris updated as well. Kelvin Cato added. They also, if you don't know, they added Kenny Thomas in the last update as well with a artist render. Very well done. Going to the Spurs, Anthony Goldwire didn't sign until later, but I needed him added to get to 14 players. Mink Batir added here, as you can see. Going over to the Suns, Dan Lange, Alton Ford, and Jake Voskuhl. Got Randy Brown with an updated face. We've got Jake Sakalidis added. That one looks great. That was a lot of these, like I said, were dirty _8_species cap faces. Some mixes of some other faces. Some I did on my own that I tried to create. So just a mixed bag of faces, but mostly dirty species faces. I mean, they're incredible. Really great job there. Vitaly Potapenko, Predrag, Drobin Jack. Got Joseph Forte with an updated face. Jerome James. Calvin Booth. I put roster filler here because there's nobody that really could go here. That unless you do the Eldon Campbell, Kenny Anderson trade, you won't be able to get an extra player there. So that's why I did roster filler. Makes the most sense. Got Troy Hudson, Rasho Nesterovich. Got Lauren Woods, Igor Rakocevic. Terrell Brandon and Felipe Lopez were both out for the year. That's why they're injured. Here, we go over to the Blazers. We've got Rasheed Wallace. We've got Jeff McInnes, Dale Davis, and then Quintel Woods, Charles Smith, and Ruben Bunte has an updated render. Going over to the Golden State Warriors as we're about to wrap it up. Troy Murphy. I'd like to touch that Troy Murphy up and get a better looking, more realistic one. Danny Fortson, Chris Mills, and Yuri Welsh. Guy Rucker added late in the season, but I needed him added now. Um, Actually, no, I think he was added at the beginning of the season, then waived. Um, Needed him added so I can get 14. Oscar Torres and Dean Oliver. Dean Oliver, same thing. Washington Wizards, Kwame Brown, Juan Dixon, and I know there's one more. I added Rotko Varda since he was there at the beginning of the season, even though he never played a minute for Washington. He was under contract. That's why whenever I prompt here, it'll say there's too many players on the Wizards because Bobby Simmons was a big piece of the Wizards team, but Varda was there from the beginning. That's why I had to include him. Jahidi White there as well. We go over to the free agent pool, and I got a bunch of different guys: Jason Hart, Olden Polynice. You can see the list go. So I wanted to make sure that guys that were signed within the season or were out for this season but play the next season were included. That's why there's so many different players versus other rosters here. I just wanted to make it as authentic as I could to that season. So hope everybody enjoyed this. Please, if you would, like the video. I know there's it says 18 people watching. If all 18 of you would not mind hitting that like button, please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to come back in just a little bit. I'm going to get some more coffee and bite to eat. I'm going to come back and show my G League roster as well as some other stuff as well. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be obviously a separate video, but thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the official 2K roster update, going through that, and then my personal Kobe era 2002-2003 roster. So, you know, hope everybody, has a great day. If you're not able to tune into the next video, if you are, I will talk to you and see you soon.